What's popping, my ugly ducklings? If you guys like late game, then boy do I have an awesome treat for you. Lo and behold, we are bringing back my custom-made labyrinth map for another round of challenges, and this one is as basic as it gets, attempting to get to the highest round. Now if I was aiming to get a round record on any other existing map, say for something like pools or hydro dam, I'd probably die of boredom before the 1 hour mark. But if you saw the previous few videos surrounding this dank-ass map, then you'll know that there's never a dull moment. We all know how easy and long of a map Bloons Circles is, but imagine if you doubled the length of that track and at the same time removed 85% of the real estate. There's currently no map quite like this one, I must say. So as with every epic late-game attempt, we must start off by discussing why Mold is our holy lord and savior. As the creator of the term #EpicLateGame, we should appreciate the influence Mold has made on everyone's late-game matches, so if you could stand for a moment of silence to pay tribute before every late-game attempt, please do. I did my tribute before this recording, so that's why you won't see any moments of silence in this commentary. Anyways, the next thing mandatory to talk about in every late-game attempt is our loadout, of course. I'm sure every late-game enthusiast is dying to know the secret to stretching their game out as long as possible. So listen up carefully, cause I'm going to spill out all the beans. As you can tell by the loadout, Super Monkey, Ninja, Ice and Chipper is the Fantastic Four. Now let's run down the purpose of each tower step by step. First is the Super Monkey, which is a must to bring in any late-game attempt, because the 0-0 Super Monkey is one of the strongest towers in the game. Actually, my bad, I don't have village and farm to complement the loadout, so instead I would highly recommend using Super Monkeys for the temple upgrade instead, one temple for each giant square on the map. In this case, that's the most efficient popping power to space taken up ratio, and the good thing is there's also enough space for you to get enough of your temple sacrifices in. While you can only place down one Super Monkey max per island, you can fit in 2 smaller towers on the same piece of land, another small tower in the middle square, and a couple more towers on the adjacent island, and boom, you got yourselves a pretty strong temple. No bomb, glue or wizard sacrifices though. You'll only be able to get ice blasts and blade projectiles, because other towers are more important to bring. I shouldn't need to explain the ice tower any further, cause you know, 50% slow to 2 layers and an added temple sacrifice is more than enough to not need any explaining. I don't think I need to explain the ninja either. As long as both the ice and ninja abilities stack fully, then these will always take up half of your tower slots. I'd say the most controversial choice is obviously the last one, the Chipper. WTF ISAB, I thought the Chipper is dead now that it got nerfed to the ground. And you are not wrong, the Chipper is pretty shitty in competitive situations and whatnot, but the Big Suck does still have a couple of useful scenarios. One being using the 2-0 Chipper to suck up and stall ceramic balloons, another being the ability to stall BFBs and below with the Super Vic ability. It may not be able to do shit to ZOMGs anymore, but no other tower can slow down a clump of BFBs as much as the Chipper can, and because of the lack of space on this map, it's more important to bring towers you can spam abilities with versus ones with pure power. And also, I believe the highest round record for this patch overall has been increased to round 123 by a fellow called Josh, and interestingly enough he brought along the Chipper too. I trust his thought process, so Tyler and I are just going to copy his loadout. I mean, after all, he definitely played a part in popularizing the wizard as a legitimate tower for high arenas. So yeah, now that we've discussed those two things, I guess the next thing to touch on is the execution of this loadout, aka strategy. Well, I talked about the 1 temple per giant square, but how about the rest of the remaining real estate? Thankfully, the footprint of the temple is no bigger than a 0-0 Super Monkey, so you can still fit 2 tiny towers per island, and I opted to fill that space with 1 absolute 0 and 1 sabotage supply lines each, totaling to 4 ice and ninja abilities that are here to stay. And then my game plan is to use the tiny center square for buying and reselling abilities, most of which will be for the chipper ability, but occasionally for the ice and ninja too if I happen to need them. 4 of them don't leave you with much to work with. Oh yeah, and here's a really interesting trick Tyler let me know to survive for even longer. If you don't know how the ice ability works, it only slows down balloons currently on the screen. If you use it and a balloon spawns after, it won't get slowed down. You can use this mechanic to stack the ZOMGs once you get to the later rounds, and you can do that by slowing down the first couple of ZOGs that spawn, waiting for the newly spawned blimps to catch up to the slowed ones, then use the ice ability again, and boom, now both batches will be on top of each other and moving at the same speed. This is a good thing because temples have explosions from the ice sacrifice, and the goal of any explosion, whether it be in real life or in BTD battles, is to hit as many people, or in this case balloons, as possible. It ain't rocket science, boys. Do that and all your firepower will be focused on the same place, meaning the balloons get taken down faster. I will admit Tyler can execute this way better than I can though, I mean he's got a knack for things like that. So yeah, I'm bored guys, and maybe you are too cause these balloons aren't going anywhere at the moment. We'll probably have to wait a really long time until the balloons get strong and fast enough to get through this entire track, so I may have to cut a few clips here and there. Even then that will still take a while too, so let us take a couple minutes off to yet again answer some questions, picking up where we left off on that massive comment chain. Who do I consider to be the best player in the game? I assume you mean BTD Battles Mobile, but I'm going to answer for both platforms, Flash and mobile, because I actually have something to say about the former. I guess I'll give the Flash crown to Mo Money. He started out rocky when he first started playing the game, but was quite a force to be reckoned with after he dethroned my king spot. If you're new to this community and have no idea who or what I was just talking about, don't worry about it, just know that guy was a pretty good Flash player. As for mobile, I wouldn't have a clue cause I don't follow the competitive scene really closely, and I've never played any of them myself, or at least I don't think I have. Anyways, my pick for best mobile player would be Blazeit, under the condition he makes it past around 8 yellow rush. If you can't kill him at that point, then it's pretty much good game. Now this is a pretty interesting question. What would I do if the number of people playing and watching battles suddenly dropped drastically? You mean like right now, Kappa? I speak the truth though, it definitely feels like Bloons YouTubers are in a bit of a pickle right now because the player base is going to slowly decline until BTD 6 hits. So my answer to your question would be whatever I'm doing on my channel right now basically. I would probably still upload Bloons videos, but I would be a sad boy and cry myself to sleep every day cause nobody cares about the game anymore. Or maybe I would switch to another game assuming Bloons never regains popularity after drastically losing players. How will my BTD 6 coverage be? Depends on what features the game has, but I'm definitely planning to tackle as many facets as possible, ranging from walkthroughs of maps and special missions to tips and tricks to births of new BTD 6 memes, cause more memes is what we all need. Needless to say, it's probably going to turn into a pure BTD 6 channel for the first couple of months on release or until I get bored of it. Alrighty, thanks for the questions, more to answer in the upcoming ones. Now if you shift your heads back to the game, you'll see I'm starting to get in some really deep shit. Remember what I said about Tyler being better at executing the little ZOMG stacking trick? Well, I told you so. I felt like I was doing a decent job at stacking them, but apparently it wasn't good enough, as once you mess up one part, everything else just comes crashing down. The temples will eventually have to start focusing the ones at the front once they get near the exit, and that will allow the next wave of ZOMGs to cruise along the track unharmed until the ZOMG layer of the previous wave is dealt with, and so on until I'm dead. But yeah, round 90 plus boys, I think that's much farther than I would have imagined before the start of this challenge, and a lot more time I thought I would have had to spend getting this far, lol. So I hope you appreciate the 2 hours Tyler and I wasted playing this game, when I clearly could be doing more productive things during those 2 hours, like finding a cure for cancer and solving world peace. Oh well, I'll save that for another day. I know we're not getting 1,000 likes on this video, so if I get 1,000 likes on this video I'll upload some meme intros. Have a very long and late day.